Norman, to be clear, because you said that twice now, you mean 500,000 more.
More, right now.
Yeah. You you
500,000
you
more.
need five hundred
500.
thousand added to the 1.5. You want 2 million so that when
It's,
you know it's
they
all
all
said
no
and done.
the last offer was actually 1.7.
Okay.
We did the math. I don't know if Adrian got was misspoke or what happened with that, but actually Top Rank takes 25 off top.
Mm.
That's what I was
For
told.
the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow.
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire probably presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so the latest and greatest on the whole Brian Norman Jr. versus Jaron Ennis negotiation saga. I'm going to be honest, before I get into what I think, I'm going to be honest. When it came to this fight, I didn't want to take a side. I didn't want to take Jaron Ennis' side. I didn't want to take Brian Norman's side. To be honest with you, I quite like Brian Norman Jr., just as the way he talks, his mentality. I really did enjoy the power punching clinic he put on against Giovanni Santillana. I thought it was one of the most electric performances of the year. But what's going on now? Unfortunately, I have to tell the truth. I can't, just because I like Brian Norman and what he's doing, I can't be biased, right? Brian Norman Jr. and his dad are putting on an absolute masterclass on what the hell to not do when you have a life-changing opportunity in boxing. Absolutely. Like, it's ridiculous. And mind you, I know I bring this fighter's name up a lot because he's a personal friend of mine, but he's a great example. You guys know Angelo Leo just won the featherweight title. He took peanuts to fight on Pro Box and got active, took the short money, and then, fought Bernardo Lopez, won the world title in sensational fashion, got himself a nice little payday. Now his next payday is going to be bigger, and his value, because he's been so active taking those peanuts, is going to be at the highest it's ever been. So I bring him up to say, I know what it looks like when a fighter really wants to make some shit happen in boxing. I see it. I'm around it all the time. I know what a fighter who's serious about their business and really being great, how they act, all right? And I also know from being around plenty of fighters in boxing what someone who doesn't want to fight looks like when they just give you what they call lip service. And I hate to say it, but the Normans, Brian Norman Jr., definitely Brian Norman Sr., they're giving us lip service, man. They're not, when push comes to shove, they are not making the fight happen. And I've went ahead and I've watched everything. Like, I've heard Senior, who, by the way, I like Senior. I never met him, but I like Brian Norman Sr. He comes off as a very cool guy. But Brian Norman Sr. keeps talking about, all these offers and whatnot, and how Matchroom Boxing and people are lying on their name. But the reality is, out of his own mouth, as you guys saw in the beginning of this interview, Brian Norman Sr. has went ahead and mentioned himself that Brian Norman Jr. has declined a $1.7 million offer to fight. Now, mind you, this is the same Brian Norman Jr. Like, before the Santillana fight. Let's just act like the Santillana fight didn't happen. He was literally on the verge of being cut by Top Rank. He was having terrible performance after terrible performance against Quentin Randall and Janison Figueroa got dropped by him before the fight got stopped on I think it was Head Class. I can't remember right now. There was no contest though. I was there. But anyway, he was not looking good in these performances. And had he lost to Santillana, he probably would have got cut. So you finally deliver in a big fight. People are excited to see you fight. They're blessed. Norman is blessed that the division has gone to utter shit since Crawford and Spence left, and it's recorrecting itself. And this is actually the fight in the division, because there's nobody else really like that has the storyline or the excitement that this fight will have. People want to see the fight. People want to see the welterweight division go on to the next era, the next chapter, and bring some excitement. You want to play, mathematician. You want to pull your calculator out. So since they don't want to pull the calculators out, let me pull my calculator out. So this is what we're gonna do here on True School Sports, because I'm disappointed in the Normans. I really thought that they wanted this fight, but I know what a fighter not wanting to fight looks like, unfortunately. So look, he mentioned that they turned in a $1.7 million offer. He mentioned the Nest on the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice, that it would cost roughly 25%. The Top Rank would take 25% off of the 1.7 million. So look, there's my calculator. Since we're all pulling out calculators here, it would cost roughly what is that? $425,000 that they had to give the Top Rank, all right, to cross the street and go fight at Matchroom, okay? And then if you just minus 425,000 off of 1.7 million, that's roughly 1,275,000. Then you still got to pay management, sanctioning fees, taxes, things like that. So you roughly, Brian Norman would probably walk out around with around 800,000, 900,000, anywhere from 900,000 to 800,000. You know, somewhere just south of $1 million. Now, we've heard from Brian Norman Jr. that he trains harder than everyone in the division. I'm talking about Junior. Junior has said he trains harder than everyone in the division, that nobody could beat him, and they're not ducking no smoke, and this, that, and the third. And okay, so if that's the case, you just made $100,000 your last fight. I'm sure after taxes and everything, you probably walked away with probably around 60 to 50K for your last fight. So you go from a pay grade of 50 to 60K after, you know, taxes and overhead and all that stuff to now what, 800,000 to 900,000 with taxes and overhead. That's a dramatic jump in pay. You're in a whole other tax bracket, and you're getting the chance to win another world title, increase your market value, and put yourself now as a bona fide 7-figure fighter after taxes and overhead. Since we're pulling out calculators and things like that, right? So if they really believed in themselves, and I hate that I'm coming out here making this video, because personally, like, I didn't want to take sides. I've had plenty of Jaron Ennis fans get mad at me when I criticize his performance against Karen Chukujan. And I don't like when I have to say that guys are ducking Jaron Ennis, because it almost gives them ammunition. But I can't be a liar. I got to be content to tell the truth here on True School Sports. Otherwise, I'm doing a disservice to the fine folks that watch my channel and enjoy my content. Brian Norman Jr. and his dad are ducking Jaron Ennis. There's no way of ifs, ands, or buts about it. I listened to Adrian Clark of Fighters First Management. I watched his segment on the Boxing Voice when he was saying that, you know, we need to that they need to sweeten the pot, because, you know, $810,000, that's the number he threw out there. $810,000 is not enough for this kind of fight. And mind you, I understand the management aspect of things. You're trying to get more money for your client, but the thing is, your client made 50 to 60K the last fight. He's gonna make probably 810,000, 800,000, somewhere in that bracket. This fight after taxes, fees, and all that. That's a dramatic pay increase. So my thing is, the worst case scenario is Brian Norman Jr. just isn't what he thinks he is, and what his dad thinks he is, and he gets his ass waxed all over Philadelphia by Jaron Ennis. And that's it. That's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is they win, and the middle ground scenario is that Brian Norman Jr. loses in a competitive fight where, okay, he loses, but he gains more fans in the process, thus shooting up his market value in such a way where people want to see him fight again. And you know, that is a thing in boxing. So now, as I mentioned, I believe it was my last video or my live, I can't remember if it was live or my last video, but Brian Norman Jr. is going to fight Derek Cuevas, who, by the way, I would say probably 95 to 98% of the regular boxing fans don't know who Derek Cuevas is. I only know who Derek Cuevas is because he used to fight in my area of South Florida. And Derek Cuevas, 4 years ago, lost to an Argentinian journeyman. And then since then, he's been getting these big knockouts in Panama and Puerto Rico. But, you know, against obscure, nondescript competition, you know, got back in the rankings, got back active, but really hasn't lit the world on fire. Nobody knows who Derek Cuevas is, all right? You're fighting him on Keyshawn Davis's undercard in Virginia. And you ain't gonna make no damn 800K, 900K doing that. So, like I said, I know personally from firsthand experience, because I see it on a daily basis. Well, you know, being part of Team Angelio, like, I know what it looks like when a fighter really wants to get some shit done in their careers, and I definitely know what it looks like when a fighter doesn't truly want what they say they want, and they're doing what they say, selling wolf tickets. So I hate to say it, it low key breaks my heart. It really does, because I love when fighters win a fight that they're not supposed to win in hostile territory and change the trajectory of their career. But it really breaks my heart, you know, to see Brian Norman Jr. kind of. I'll tell you right now. I really think the Normans are gonna regret this decision. You know, they're gonna regret this decision, because this is a golden opportunity to really stick your flag in the ground as the king of one of boxing's glamour divisions against one of the most hyped up fighters in American boxing today. And when it comes time to make the fight happen, you know, you blow it, you know. So enjoy the Derek Cuevas fight, you know, on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis versus Gustavo Lemos, and Boots is probably gonna have to fight Karen. So look, really, the Normans lose out and the fans lose out. The Normans lose out on just being in a whole other tax bracket, you know, and Boots loses out on a chance to prove himself against a good young welterweight. And now I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm actually kind of happy. I want to see Boots versus Karen, because I thought Boots looked I thought Boots looked pretty regular against Karen. So I'm not gonna be too mad about the Boots Karen rematch, but most of boxing is. So it really is sad that in the post, like right after we get the bullshit that happened with Crawford and Spencer 5 years before they fought, we get a chance for two guys to light the division on fire, like really light the damn division on fire. And because, you know, fighters, management contracts, and the managers, you know, as I say, you know, pulling out the calculators, they want to pull out the calculators, when in reality, whether, you know, if is trying to increase your market value and becoming the best welterweight in the world and being a unified champion, is that really worth the $200,000 you're groveling over? If he's really, Brian Norman Jr. is what you think he is, you know, he's in another tax bracket in this fight. He's gonna get a career high payday. You know, Eddie Hearn has already upped the money a couple times, so it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what do like? I'm just tired of fighters selling wolf tickets, because especially in the welterweight division. I'm tired of the welterweight division. Like, this happens all the time in this damn weight class. And it's like, this is not a fight that needs marination, okay? We don't need to marinate Boots versus Brian Norman Jr. Really and truthfully, outside of hardcore boxing, if you want to just tell the truth, tell me if you want me to tell the truth. Outside of hardcore boxing fans, nobody knows who the fuck Jaron Ennis or Brian Norman is. They are relatively unknown. They need each other to build each other. You see what I'm saying? And they need each other to push this division forward and light it on fire and give the fans a great fight. So it's a sad state of affairs, because now they're both going to be in two fights that nobody is really clamoring for, in Karen Chukajan, the rematch, and Derek Cuevas, respectively. So make of that what you will. Say it ain't so, but niggas didn't have enough dough for little old Brian Norman Jr. to fight Jaron Ennis. Sad. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.